Warning, the following production is not affiliated with or endorsed by any official organization or promoter of Run It Straight events. This documentary is intended solely to document the history, culture, and rise of Run It Straight and related full contact challenges. Viewers are advised that participation in Run It Straight or other high impact and combat sports involves serious risks, including the potential for severe injury or death. This content is intended for informational purposes only. Viewers' discretion has been advised. A week after filming this video, a young man in New Zealand tragically passed away while playing a similar game to Bull Rush. This tragic loss of soul and a freak accident emphasizes the risk that comes with participating in high contact and combat sports alike. Our thoughts and condolences go out to the young man's family and friends. Run It Straight has gone from a backyard game to an arena event that has taken the world by storm.
Run it straight.
Run it straight.
Run it.
With its high collisions, crazy knockouts, and a grand prize up to $200,000. No one has seen anything like it. This is a first time look in behind one of the world's fastest growing sports. The game is highly physical and dangerous, but people still decide to play it. The project worded it well when talking about the dangers of running it straight.
The neuroscientists will have all the warnings, and by now most people have heard those warnings. What this shows is that people want to do this. We are just determined to do this.
Yeah.
It's part of the human condition.
1v1 sports has been embedded in cultures since the creation of mankind.
He's got to be very careful.
Some more brutal than others. Run It Straight has been New Zealand and Australia's own little 1v1 game since way back. For me growing up, we played a different game called Bull Rush. Bull Rush is not like Run It Straight, it's a bit different. Your objective is to get past your man in the middle. It was still the same. If you were in the middle, you chose that person you didn't like the most and you made sure you hit him hard. Growing up in school, we weren't allowed to fight in school, but we could run it straight to each other out in the paddock without getting in trouble.
We used to call it up the guts. It was a place for us to let go of our shit, sort our differences out and also have fun.
We call it crash. Crash stems from the prison yard. That's how we sort out our differences, or we just get our frustration out. You're locked up and cooped up in a cell, so you get your yard time and you're just gonna run it straight. There's nowhere to run it in prison, you know what I mean? Only straight there, bros.
Even the Americans have their own version called the Oklahoma Draw. Run It Straight and all its alternatives is embedded into New Zealand and Australia's culture. And it makes sense why. A large part of our culture is built off the foundation of rugby league and union.
This is the big man, Lomu. He's still on his feet. Lomu could score.
And those Aussies have their AFL too. The recent rise of Run It Straight from its popularity online with YouTubers like Charisma, who show a more grassroots style, to events like Run It with more of a Coliseum showdown style. Up until this point, the shows have been held in Australia, and now they have tried to bring the shows over to New Zealand, but were quickly shut down after authorities were concerned about the professionalism behind the event. The only show that could go forward was Run It, as it's been held at a private venue. Everyone has their own reason for why they run it straight, and for those people competing at Run It, it's the chance to win $20,000 and secure themselves a position for the finals to potentially win the grand prize of $200,000. The rules of Run It Straight are quite simple. A coin toss decides who runs and who defends first. The runner holds the ball while the defender tackles. The players stand 20 meters apart, then they count down from 3. When the countdown is complete, the players run directly at each other. Neither player is allowed to step their opponent. Tackles must be above the hip and below the collarbone. Anything outside of this area is an instant disqualification. Upon collision, the winner is the competitor who stands their ground and who pushes the opponent backwards. Each player gets a turn at running and defending. If you dominate both collisions, you win. If each player dominates one collision, it's a draw. If both parties agree, they can run and defend again until there is a clear winner or they agree on a draw. We spent some time with Billy Coffey, one of the Run It organisers, to get a better understanding of Run It before heading down to their second New Zealand show that evening.
The concept of Run It is something that for me, when I heard about it from the creator, a bloke who prefers the name anonymous, he's a ninja. He loves the idea of creating a culture but doesn't want to be in the limelight. And when he sold me the concept of it, all I could see was, in this day and age where, you know, I'm from a background of training athletes from amateur to pro, from training athletes in the pro game, from training athletes who have retired. And one of the biggest things is when they go through retirement, if it's forced retirement, they struggle with life. And I mean, it affects their life severely. They turn to drugs, alcohol. In the worst cases, they can get domestically violent. And for me, I've noticed that due to inflation, due to the financial crisis, especially here in New Zealand, in Australia, inflation's massive. You can't have a family anymore with a single income to support it. And if you're someone who doesn't believe in the brainwashing that is schooling system, someone that doesn't believe the brainwashing that is daycare, you want to raise your family in your house, whether you're male or female, whoever has to stay home with the kids, the other partner has to go and work 2 jobs for you to be able to keep that element of family alive. So you have to retire because you can't train 2 nights a week. You can't go away on the weekends. You got to work. And all of a sudden you now have a warrior sitting on the couch pretending his flame is dead, because especially in the Pacifica community, you will put your warrior flame away for the sake of your family. You will make yourself small if it means your family stays big. But we now have a moment in time where you don't have to stay small anymore and your family can still stay big. So you come off the couch, you've only got to worry about showing up to 2 or 3 events a year. You can train in your own time with your own weights training, in your own garage, with your family around, with your kids. And you got a chance to make a life financially where you can then go home and spend more time with the family, raise your kids how you want, find that spark, show your kids the warrior, and have your kids feel how confident that hero is. So for me, I mean, I'm getting tingles talking about it now. Like, for me, that was too big to say no to. And I understand that what we're seeing online is a lot of concussions. And for me, I take a lot of responsibility for that. I don't want to see this community that I believe in. I was raised in the Seventh-day Adventist Church around a lot of Samoa and Pacifica. I mean, I played for Newcastle Samoa, and I've never had a chance to really give back to that community outside of just coaching. For me, that because the Pacifica community is so big in this game, I now have a chance to give back. I don't want to hurt my community. I want my community to prosper. I want my community to feel safe, come out, celebrate, see the hero, see the flame, remind them, you know, they get their mana back. You know what I mean?
Just recently, we've had a trial show. Now, one of the competitors hadn't played for 10 years. Like you said, there was a warrior sitting at home that thought he was done. He's put the boots on after 10 years and stood on that battle floor, and he showed up. That changes the concept for every one of us at home that thought it was over. To see a man get up with the biggest smile on his face, ready to run down that line with his family supporting him on the sideline. There's nothing like that in a sport. There's nothing like that. Brother, you were right there behind this man, supporting him, making sure he was safe. What does that do for you?
Mate, I'll tell you right now, I'm getting goosebumps. So that for me, it was crazy, because every event we've had, the first 2 get knocked out, and that spooks me, because I'm like, oh no, what have we done? And then he came in his trials, and about the 2nd trial in, so he won his first bout, 2nd bout, he was up against a monster. And I had no idea who this guy was. He was a late entry, showed up late. And I found out later on, his brother, he's like an NRL superstar rising up for the Warriors ranks. He was like, you got to, all these boys were tagging him, you have to. They drove him to the ground because he was not interested, thinking that, nah, because you know yourself, the biggest hitters in every team, they don't tell you they're the biggest hitters. They're the most humble, always. And if they're not the biggest hitters. So he shows up, and I'm building this relationship, and the second one, he came out the blocks, and he stepped in, and the technique was flawless. And in my mind, I went, that's why we built this game. I looked in his eyes, he got up and he turned to the crowd, and boom, in that moment, he all of a sudden went, you know what? I do want this back. And the crowd went, yeah. And then he's come back to me and said, more water in here, because he wants the collision to spray. And he made the final, and in the final, I sat with him. He looked me in the eyes, his arm was broken, swelling up. I was like, brother, you beat this guy. you're about to show the world you still got it. He looked me in the eyes and goes, I know I still got it. And bang, 20K, back in the books, hands up, crowd went wild. That for me is a man who just found his purpose again. And then gets to go home to his family, look after the kids, and provide. The collisions that look bad, they do sell the product, but then you deep dive into it and you get to see the quality of the product. And you know yourself, the Pacifica, the Samoa, the Tongan, the Māori, they support each other.
Yes.
Like I'm from the white Australian culture where we cut each other down.
Yeah.
Not in this community.
Wow.
They're about lifting. So I think we're at 100 million views. It's been 6-7 weeks. And mate, it hasn't sunk in yet that this is about to be a new sport. And it hasn't sunk in yet that we might have just helped the community on a global scale.
Yes.
And I don't feel worthy to be a part of it, but I've got to keep charging with it. Come in for a second.
Are you ready to run it? 3, 2, 1, run it! 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 Three, two, one, run it! Three, two, one, run it! Three, two, one, run it! Runner ready! Defender ready! 3, 2, 1, run it! Runner ready! Defender ready! 3, 2, 1, run it!
The moment I see one of mine get knocked out cold on the field, the feelings that go through my body of fear, sadness, shock is immense. You can't explain what it's like to see your loved one on the ground shaking, unconscious. I don't want that for my sport. So for me, I've realized that I need to bring in precautions to teach the right technique, because that moment where Rob 2 hit the perfect tech, that reminded me, yes, it can be done. This is what I'm teaching. But in like any sport, you go back a decade in the NRL, tackles that were legal then, you'd go 12 weeks on the sideline now because it has to evolve. For me, I have stringent tackle tech guidelines. You can't lead with the head, you can't turn 180, you can't You can't have shoulder in any case. The runner with the ball, he's responsible for where he puts his body in relation to the tackler's head. There is so much to it for safety precautions, and we've got these mouth guards now that are coming in which have technology in them to show us the data immediately to a computer after the collision to say whether or not it's safe to go again, and also how to treat them when they go finish, because you can't have them going home, falling asleep and going into a coma. They need to be sent to the hospital and looked after. They've got a welfare check before with a doctor, stringent guidelines, same as a concussion check in the NRL. Straight after their runs, they go through the same. Paramedics on site, check-ins post-tournament. For us, the guidelines are only going to get more stringent as the athletes get more physically able. The drama is that we are now noticing that we got to make sure that the screening process is intense.
Yes.
Because I can't have you coming up against someone who's maybe just wants 20 grand light about their promo. So last night we got 8 new runners. I saw that 4 of them weren't able. I removed them and I brought in 4 of my own. Because I'm not the recruit, but I've dealt with professional athletes my whole life. So tonight, in a couple of hours, I'll take the boys for a warm-up. I'll have 4 guys on standby. If I believe one of those guys isn't physically who he said he was, I'll bring my standbys in. And as the tournament gets bigger and it becomes a global circuit, that's easier. But for now, we're building, so the unknown is unsafe, but I'm making it safe.
Beautiful.
And it's still a collision sport, but percentage-wise, we're at 20% of collisions. 32 to 37 is the UFC's history. 80% for heavyweights. These are heavyweights. We are on the concussion standards low, but it doesn't matter. That's still 20% of my community I've damaged.
Yep.
So what I want to finalise with that is this sport will be as safe as it possibly can be, and will forever be evolving our guidelines, because I'm not here for the concussions. I'm here for the perfect technique.
We have come to the grand final of Running Championship League. Are you ready to run it?
We're here to support Champ, here with the family. He flew down from Christchurch. We're just here. He's a West Auckland born boy, but we're here just to give love and support to my little brother.
Runner ready! Defender ready! 3, 2, 1, run it! Runner ready! Defender ready! 3, 2, 1, run it!
Stay, Champ! Sit him on his ass, Champ! Sit him on his ass, Champ!
Runner ready! Defender ready! 3, 2, 1, run it! Runner ready!
Let's go, Champ! Finish it off!
Defender ready! 3, 2, 1, run it!
He doesn't want it, Chippy! He don't want it! Chippy, finish it off, Chip! Finish it off! Finish him off, Chippy! Finish him off!
Runner ready!
Hopefully we got the dub. So we didn't fly up here for nothing, eh?
We went to the judges' scorecard for our result, taking home $20,000 by majority decision. Out of the black corner,
Congratulations, man, on your victory tonight. Cheers, bro. Now, I know that you've had a lot of family members travel from afar to come here and support you, bro.
Yep.
What was it like, brother? One, being on that platform, but looking into the crowd and seeing your whole family supporting you.
Nah, it was awesome feeling, eh? It was calm, you know, the whole process of everything, but then, you know, as soon as it hit the paddock, nerves kicked in.
And you could see that, brother. You were cool, calm all the way through, but as soon as you were lined up, it was like you switched into a whole different character, bro.
Yeah,
you
bro.
were zoned in, you were focused, and nothing else mattered. It looked like you zoned everything else, and it was only you and one man there.
Yeah. Nah, I think sort of just had to force myself to flip the switch, eh? And just happy it paid off. So no one's hurt badly. So I think that's the positive thing that's come out of this. You know, trying to go run it. So I think tonight's show is probably a lot better than Monday's. You know, is making proper collisions. Safety first.
100%.
There was a few. You know, there's always going to be a few mishaps, but I think this show can really take off here in New Zealand. So yeah.
Through culture, Run It Straight is talking to communities, and it will find its place just like many other contact and combat sports on the come up. This is a sport that needs strict rules and awareness around the severe risks involved in competing. With safety and professionalism in controlled environments at the core of Run It Straight, this sport could be something bigger than we may expect.